నమస్కారం. నా పేరు శ్యామపల్లి. లాస్ ఏంజలస్ నుండి ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని నిర్వహిస్తున్నాం. శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ డోనర్ అప్రిసియేషన్ సిరీస్ కింద ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి మీ అందరికీ స్వాగతం. ముందుగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ సంస్థ గురించి రెండు విషయాలు. 1978లో పద్మభూషణ్ డాక్టర్ ఎస్ఎస్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారిచే స్థాపించబడిన ఈ సంస్థ అంచెలంచెలుగా ఎదుగుతూ ప్రపంచంలోనే ఓ ప్రతిష్టాత్మకమైన కంటి ఆసుపత్రిగా, ఐ రీసెర్చ్ సెంటర్గా నిలిచింది. ఎన్నో లక్షల మందికి ఉచిత కంటి సేవ వైద్యులు అందిస్తూ సర్వేంద్రియాణం నయనం ప్రధానం అనే నానుడిని అక్షరసత్యం చేస్తూ వారి జీవితాల్లో వెలుగులు నింపడానికి అహర్నిశాలు పాటుపడుతున్న ఏకైక స్వచ్ఛంద సేవా సంస్థ. అబ్దుల్ కలాం, నానీ ఫాల్కీవాలా, ఎంఎస్ సుబ్బలక్ష్మి, అమితాబ్ బచ్చన్, రజనీకాంత్, సతీష్ రెడ్డి, సౌరవ్ గంగూలీ, మాధవన్ వంటి అతిరథ మహారథులు ఈ సంస్థకు విరాళాలు ఇస్తూ బ్రాండ్ అంబాసిడర్స్గా సేవలు అందిస్తున్నారు. శంకర నేత్రాలయ సేవల గురించి అబ్దుల్ కలాం, అమితాబ్ బచ్చన్ గారు ఏమన్నారో స్వయంగా వారి మాటల్లోనే విందాం.
So my greetings to Sankara Nethralaya for the excellent service what you are doing. So for the contribution for you, the God will help you. That is 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗟𝗔𝗬𝗔.
SANKARA NETHRALAYA is the best managed charitable hospital in India. In the 1990s, Falkiwala gave away a very large portion of his personal wealth to Sankara Nethralaya to buttress the good work that the institution was doing, built on the pioneering vision for providing quality medical services at very affordable costs to all. Let us bring light into the life of our less privileged citizens.
ఇక శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ యుఎస్ఏ విషయానికి వస్తే, డాక్టర్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారి పిలుపుతో భారతదేశంలో ఈ సంస్థ చేపట్టిన కార్యక్రమాల స్ఫూర్తితో 1988లో శ్రీ ఎస్వి ఆచార్య గారు అమెరికాలో భారతదేశంలో ఉన్న శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ సంస్థకు అనుబంధ సంస్థగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ని స్థాపించడం జరిగింది. గత 34 సంవత్సరాలుగా భారతదేశంలో ఉన్న శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ సంస్థకు నిధులు సేకరించడంలో కుడిభుజంగా ఉంటూ అత్యంత కీలక పాత్ర పోషిస్తోంది. అమెరికాలోని ధార్మిక సంస్థల విధి విధానాలు పరిశీలించే చారిటీ నావిగేటర్ నుండి 4 స్టార్ రేటింగ్ను కూడా పొంది ఒక ఉత్తమ ధార్మిక సంస్థగా గుర్తించబడింది శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్. ఇక ఈ సంస్థ ప్రస్తుత అధ్యక్షులైన శ్రీ బాలారెడ్డి ఇందుర్తి గారి నేతృత్వంలో రికార్డు స్థాయిలో అనేక కోట్ల రూపాయలు నిధులు సేకరిస్తూ ఎంతోమంది అభాగ్యుల జీవితాల్లో వెలుగు నింపుతున్నారు. కోవిడ్ పాండమిక్ సమయంలో ఎన్నో ఆన్లైన్ కార్యక్రమాలు ఎంతో వినూత్నంగా, విజయవంతంగా నిర్వహించి రికార్డు స్థాయిలో సంస్థకు నిధులను సమీకరించడం జరిగింది. ప్రముఖ టీవీ ఛానల్స్లో ప్రసారం చేయబడిన ఈ కార్యక్రమాలకు విశేష స్పందన కూడా లభించింది. ఇక ఈనాటి శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ డోనర్ అప్రిసియేషన్ సిరీస్లో భాగంగా ఈ సంస్థకు రికార్డు స్థాయిలో 2 కోట్లకు పైగా విరాళాలు ఇచ్చిన ఇద్దరి దాతలతో శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ నాయకత్వ బృందం ముఖాముఖి మరియు పరిచయ కార్యక్రమంలో ముందుగా ఈనాటి దాతలు మరియు ప్యానెల్ సభ్యుల్ని పరిచయం చేస్తారు. ముందుగా డాక్టర్ గోవింద విశ్వేశ్వర, అమెరికాలో స్థిరపడిన ప్రముఖ విద్యావేత్త, ఎన్నో ధార్మిక సంస్థలకు సహాయాన్ని అందిస్తున్న మహాదాత, ఓ గొప్ప మానవతావాది. వీరు ఇటీవలే 1,12,00,000 రూపాయలు వారి తల్లిదండ్రుల జ్ఞాపకార్థం శంకర్ నేత్రాలయకు విరాళంగా ఇచ్చారు. నమస్కారం అండి గోవింద విశ్వేశ్వర గారు. అలాగే మరొక విశిష్ట అతిథి దాత శ్రీమతి 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔, వారి కుమారుడు శ్రీ విశాల్ గులాటి. ఎన్నో సంవత్సరాలుగా అమెరికాలోని హ్యూస్టన్ నగర్లో స్థిరపడిన వీరు ఇటీవలే వారి ఇన్లాస్ జ్ఞాపకార్థం శంకర నేత్రాలయకు 1 కోటి రూపాయలు విరాళంగా అందజేశారు. నమస్కారం అండి మధుజీ అండ్ విశాల్జీ.
నమస్కారం.
ఇక శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ వ్యవస్థాపకులు శ్రీ ఎస్వి ఆచార్య గారికి స్వాగతం. తర్వాత శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ ప్రస్తుత అధ్యక్షులు శ్రీ బాలారెడ్డి ఇందుర్తి గారు. నమస్కారం అండి బాలారెడ్డి ఇందుర్తి గారు.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఇక శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ ఉపాధ్యక్షులు శ్రీ మూర్తి రేకపల్లి గారు. నమస్కారం అండి మూర్తి గారు. శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ కోశాధికారి అయిన శ్రీమతి భాను రామకృష్ణన్ గారు. నమస్కారం అండి భాను గారు.
నమస్కారం.
శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ సీనియర్ మెంబర్ మరియు బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రస్టీ డాక్టర్ రాజమౌళి గారు. నమస్కారం అండి రాజమౌళి గారు.
నమస్కార్.
శంకర నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రస్టీ శ్రీ శ్రీని వంగిమల్లి గారు కూడా ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో ఉన్నారు. నమస్కారం అండి శ్రీని వంగిమల్లి గారు.
నమస్కారం శ్యామ్ అండ్ ఆల్ ది ప్యానల్ మెంబర్స్ అండ్ జనరస్ డోనర్స్.
బాలగారు, కార్యక్రమంలోకి వెళ్లే ముందు ఈనాటి దాతలతో మీ పరిచయం, వారు అందజేసిన విరాళాలపై మీ స్పందన, అదేవిధంగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ సంస్థ చేపట్టే వివిధ కార్యక్రమాల గురించి వివరిస్తారా?
థ్యాంక్ యూ శ్యామ్ గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఫర్ కమింగ్ టు టుడేస్ షో. దిస్ ఈజ్ like a donor appreciation event from Sankara Nethralaya. I would like to wholeheartedly welcome Dr. 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔 from Atlanta and Srimati 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔 and her son 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗪𝗏 from Houston, Texas. Also, Ma Sankara Nethralaya founder, USA founder, leader Sri S.V. Acharyaji, and also our Vice President from Atlanta, 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔 garu, and Treasurer Banu Ramakrishnan garu, and Rajendra Modi ji, and Srini Vangimalla, our senior trustees. So, ఈ రోజు ముఖ్యంగా కలుసుకోవడం ఏంటంటే శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఎంతో స్వచ్ఛంద సేవా సంస్థ. ఇండియాలో ఎన్నో లక్షల మందికి ఇప్పటికీ ఉచితంగా ఫ్రీ ఐ కేర్, ఉచితంగా కంటి వైద్య శిబిరాలను నిర్వహించి సేవలు అందిస్తోంది. దీనికి ఇంతమందికి ఇవ్వడానికి ముఖ్యమైన కారణం దాతలే. సో వీఆర్ ఆల్వేస్ ఇండెప్టెడ్ టు ఆల్ అవర్ డోనర్స్, బికాస్ వితౌట్ ద డోనర్స్ వీఆర్ నాట్ హియర్ టుడే. And mainly the thing is today these two big donors are, I don't know what is the right term to use, but you know, they gave more than 1 crore each. That means a lot to us, that because of people like Dr. 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗪𝗏 and Srimati 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗪𝗏 మేము ఎన్నో సేవలు అందించగలుగుతున్నాము. ఎందుకంటే 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗪𝗏 గారు ఎప్పటి నుంచో పరిచయం, అట్లాంటాలో మాకు రెగ్యులర్ గా సహాయం చేస్తూ సడన్ గా పాండమిక్ లో మాకు ఛాలెంజెస్ ఫేస్ చేశాము. బట్ ఆ టైంలో తను మాకు సేవలు అందించడం చాలా చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంది. అట్లాగే 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗪𝗏 గారు ఫస్ట్ టైం మాకు శంకర్ నేత్రాలయకు ఇవ్వడమే కాకుండా she showed lot of interest to introduce some other good donors. It's not that just, you know, she just wrote a check and gone, but she always feels, I can see that passion in her, like, you know, like more than our board of trustees. She always says, Balaji, what can I do to do this? So that I really love, I like her
Thank you, sir.
empathy and support to us. And also, we cannot undermine this young man, Vishal Gulati. When I first met Madhuji, she said, okay, Balaji, I got sold out. I'm convinced. But now the challenge is, you need to convince my son. అప్పుడు నేను అనుకున్నా, ఈ అబ్బాయితో ఏం మాట్లాడితే కన్విన్స్ అవుతాడు అని. కానీ బట్ విశాల్ వాజ్ లైక్ వెరీ క్విక్, like IPL match. He said, Mom, I got convinced in 10 minutes. That's all we cared for. And thank you very much. And నేత్రాలయ గురించి ఇంకా మా సీనియర్ లీడర్స్ ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడతారు అందరూ. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ శ్యామ్. గో బ్యాక్ టు యూ.
ధన్యవాదాలండి బాలగారు. చాలా మంచి విషయాలు చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. అదేవిధంగా డాక్టర్ గోవింద్ విశ్వేశ్వర గారు, మీ కుటుంబ నేపథ్యం, భారతదేశం నుండి అమెరికాకు మీ జీవన ప్రయాణం, ఉద్యోగరీత్యా అమెరికాలో మీరు సాధించినటువంటి విషయాల గురించి మాకు క్లుప్తంగా తెలియజేస్తారా?
I come from Bangalore, now called Bengaluru, Mysore, in Mysore state, Karnataka state. I got my master's degree from the University of Nagpur, where I studied with my sister, Venkama. And after obtaining the master's degree, I was teaching in Dibrugarh, Assam, in a university there. I was there for 5 years of teaching biology to graduate students there. So, in 1967, there was a news item about Fulbright scholarships. I applied for the Fulbright scholarship. There was an exam, written exam, and then after that, they called me for an interview. So after the interview, they selected me for the Fulbright fellowship. So I came to the University of California, Berkeley, on a Fulbright scholarship for 1 year. And I did my PhD in Berkeley, California, on zoology, medical zoology, mostly medical zoology. And after finishing my PhD program in 1972, I got a fellowship to come to Atlanta, to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta. So as a postdoctoral fellow, but after 1 year, I was trying to go somewhere else to get a teaching position. But my supervisor said, "Why do you want to go somewhere else? Stay here. We want you here." So I stayed there, and then when I became a U.S. citizen in 1976, I became a U.S. government employee. So I worked in CDC for about 40 years, and I retired in 2013. So, and at CDC, I was working mostly on some of the small amoebas, protozoans, amoebas, which go into the brain, cause meningoencephalitis, and some of them other amoeba that go into the eye called 𝐒aturda𝐲. I worked on those things and was able to identify and characterize and find some compounds that are active against these amoeba, so a physician can treat them and cure the condition if possible. So I've been there. I've been at the CDC for 40 years and then retired, and I'm having a retired life now.
చాలా ధన్యవాదాలండి గోవింద విశ్వేశ్వర గారు. ఎంతో వైభవోపేతమైన ఉదాత్తమైన మీ జీవిత విశేషాలు తెలియజేశారు. ధన్యవాదాలండి. శంకర నేత్రాలయ సేవల గురించి మరికొంతమంది బ్రాండ్ అంబాసిడర్స్ అయిన డాక్టర్ సతీష్ రెడ్డి గారు, సైంటిఫిక్ అడ్వైజర్, రక్షణ మంత్రిత్వ శాఖ, మరియు ప్రముఖ సినీ నటులు రజనీకాంత్ గారు ఏమన్నారో స్వయంగా వారి మాటల్లోనే విందాం.
కలాం గారు ముఖ్యంగా శంకర నేత్రాలయ వారితో అప్పటికే ఆయన ఉన్నప్పుడు వారి సంబంధాలు కలవటం మాట్లాడటం అన్ని కూడా చేయదు. శంకర నేత్రాలయతో డిఆర్డిఓ మేము కలిసి ఏ రకమైనటువంటి కొత్త కొత్త పరికరాలు సామాన్య మానవుడికి అతి తక్కువ ధరలో అందేందుకోసం ఏమి చేద్దాం, ఇవి ఏ ప్రణాళికలు మొదలు తీసుకునండి. నేను ముఖ్యంగా ఒక సైంటిఫిక్ టీమ్ ఏర్పాటు చేసి మీతో కలిసి పనిచేసి అవి త్వరగా మనం బయటకు తీసుకుని వచ్చేందుకు ఏ రకంగా మనం చాలా త్వరగా చాలా ఫాస్ట్ గా బయటకు తీసుకుని వద్దాం, ఈ విషయం గురించి మాత్రమే அவர் మాట్లాడుతారు. ఖచ్చితంగా చెప్పారు.
இந்த அழகான குழந்தையோட பரிதாபமான வேண்டுகோளை நிறைவேற்றுறது நம்ம கடமை இல்லையா? கண்தானம் செய்யுங்க. தானத்திலேயே சிறந்தது கண்தானம். கண்தானம் குறித்து தொடர்பு கொள்ள வேண்டிய தொலைபேசி எண்கள் చెన్నైயில் శంకర నేత్రాలయ కణ్ మరుத்துவமனை.
మధుజీ, మీ కుటుంబ నేపథ్యం, భారతదేశం నుండి అమెరికాకు మీరు ఎప్పుడు ఎలా వచ్చారు, ఈ విషయాలన్నీ కూడా కొంచెం తెలియజేస్తారా?
Yes. I was born in Delhi in 1949 and youngest of the 4 siblings. I belong to a business family, Gupta family, hailing from Haryana state. I was schooled in Delhi, college, educated, everything in Delhi. Delhi was my hometown, was everything. And 1972, I got married to 𝗔𝗓𝗔𝗚𝗔𝗬𝗔. He belonged to a Punjabi family. My husband, J.C. Gulati, as is like to be called J.C. rather than 𝗔𝗓𝗔𝗚𝗔 because it's too much of a mouthful. He hailed from Bannu, which is now in present day Pakistan, but it was during the pre-independence era, it was a part of Northwest frontier. And my husband, J.C. Gulati, was the youngest, not the youngest.
Youngest son.
Youngest son.
He's the second youngest of all.
Second youngest of all the 7 siblings. So we got married in 1972, came to Canada, Montreal, because J.C. Gulati studied did his bachelor's in Glasgow, Scotland, his master's in Germany. He came to Canada first, and he worked over there. So we came to Canada, Montreal. We stayed there for 6 years. In the beginning, he got a job. He got a job right away as a chief engineer of golf equipment. So he started his own company. So we started the business when the business picked up. So in 1978, we moved down to Houston, and he brought the business down here. No other jobs, just business. And we worked 24/7, 365 days. We worked hard. And from him, I never got a chance to meet my father-in-law. He passed away before our marriage in 1970. We got married in 72. My mother-in-law, we brought her over here. She stayed with us, lived with us. Very sweet lady, very kind lady. She and I got along fantastically. I mean, I didn't miss my own mother because she replaced her. And my husband, J.C., was for his memories of his father was so immense, so beautiful, that in everything he would follow what his father taught him. My father taught him, aim for the highest. Be honest with yourself. Work hard. That was his motto. He taught all his children, everybody. He gave up his own comfort. And he wanted to do something for his father. That he would wear. My father-in-law was a simple man. He was a chief engineer. He was transferred to All India Radio Chennai, the present. Yeah, in those days it used to be Madras, now present-day Chennai. He was there. The whole family moved, his own family. And the extended family came to India in 1947, migrated from Bannu to India. So it was his mission, 𝗤𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔 and �padmavati-𝗔𝗡𝗏, to make sure all the families that have come from Bannu into India and their children get settled as quickly as possible. So JC wanted to do something for him, to remember him for always. But he thought of opening up a scholarship in Delhi University. He went there, explored that, but it wasn't working out. While we were in States, there was a lot of advertisements on TV of SANKARA NETHRALAYA, and also about, about the eyes and what the kind of work they are doing, what is their mission, what they want to achieve. And also in our local Indo-American newspapers, there used to be big ads in the newspaper about Shankara, donate to SANKARA NETHRALAYA. First 10 years, till 88, there was to India. And also whenever we used to have Indo-American culture programs like Republic Day and Independence Day, there used to be a stall, somebody representing SANKARA NETHRALAYA. So we discussed among ourselves, JC and I discussed, will this be a good place to put his name, donate something in his memory? That discussion went on and on. JC was being busy in the business side, also trying to explore, couldn't make up his mind. As the luck would have it, he passed away in 2021. And before he passed away, he asked me, you will make sure that something is done for Bauji and my Bhabiji. Bhabiji was his mother. That's how we were addressed. In Punjabi families, that's how you address Bhabiji, mother. We will do, I said, I promise, something will be done for them. I know we were aiming for Shankara, but you did not get a chance, but it will be done. So I remember when I was ready to do something for my in-laws, I remember calling Balaji. And my first question, my concern was, how much of the money that I donate would go to India and to the real cause? Remember, Balaji? I asked you this question. And that was my main concern.
Yes.
90% of my mind was made up towards Shankara. That's where I'm going to go. I needed another 10% as surety. And he told me on the phone, 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔, each and every penny will go to India to the real cause. And I went on your website, I read everything. I read about Dr. donating the money, Dr. Govinda donating the money and all that, and read about your whole articles, what's been going on in Chennai and in the MESU, about the MESU also, mobile units. And Vishal was in Dallas in that time when we started talking in April, end of April. So he was supposed to come over to Houston, and I said, I'm going to run by him. And he came and he said, Mom, go for it. Dad did not get a chance to do it. You go for it now. No, not delay. I said, okay. So let's have a talk with Balaji. I remember he was getting his car serviced in Toyota Service Center, and we made a call because there was still a couple of hours left. And we called Balaji, and he assured Vishal. First, he was calling him Vishalji, and he said, don't call me G. I'm a lot younger than you. So, and whatever Balaji told him, assured him that this is the way to go. And that 10% was filled up. It was, at that point, the minute we ended the call, it was totally 100% committed that this is where it's going to go. And within 5 days, I think the funds were transferred. And from there, you made the whole process so smooth, so wonderful. Trust me, the whole Gulati and Narula family are really obliged, really thankful to you for making so smooth and so nice, especially the inauguration that we did in their memory, the opening of the whole floor, 6th floor of the hospital. That was amazing. Quite a few nieces, quite a few grandchildren joined. Great-grandchildren also joined. And most of them watched from home, on their telephones, or from their cell, from their office. USA, Singapore, and India, wherever they were watching it. And later on they said, Auntie, you did the right thing. You did the very right thing. And I salute you. Thank you, Balaji.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you. And we have to say thanks to you, not you don't.
No, I would say because you showed us that each and every penny is going where it is going. Because that was my intention.
మధుజీ, మీరు చెప్పిన విషయాలు, మీ కథ ఎంతో స్ఫూర్తిదాయకంగా ఉందండి. ధన్యవాదాలు. విశాల్జీ, పువ్వు పుట్టగానే పరిమళిస్తుంది అనే మాటకు నిలువెత్తు నిదర్శనం మీరు. ఇంత చిన్న వయసులో చారిటీస్కి సపోర్ట్ చేయాలనేటువంటి ఆలోచన మీలో ఎలా కలిగింది? దానికి ప్రేరణ ఎవరు? ఆ విషయాలు కొంచెం తెలియజేస్తారా?
Yes, so as it is, I do currently work in IT. I'm Vishal Gulati. I'm the son of JC and Madhu Gulati. So coming from my end, since childhood, I have always seen my dad show the greatest reverence for Bauji and Bhabiji. And especially every year on August 1st, which was Bauji's birthday, I remember my dad purchasing fresh flowers from the store and making them into a garland to decorate Bauji's picture that we have hanging on the wall. And then we would always have like an observance and a celebration to ask for his prayers and blessings. Also, my dad also told a lot of stories about Bauji, especially about the part when he encouraged all of his children and his nephews and nieces to work hard and to obtain and the value of education. Those were the two principles by which he lived the life. So when my mother and I discussed about making a donation in the memory of Bauji and Bhabiji to SANKARA NETHRALAYA, I wholeheartedly encouraged her to do so because my dad did not get the opportunity during his life. Balaji, I also remember very well that very first phone call we had, and the fact you assured us that every penny would go towards the cause of providing eye surgery and the necessary treatment to the poor communities and those who really needed it. So for that, I say thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishal. Thanks a lot.
థ్యాంక్స్ అండి విశాల్ గారు. నమస్కారం అండి ఆచార్య గారు. శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఓం ట్రస్ట్ ఫౌండింగ్ ప్రెసిడెంట్గా ఈ యొక్క ట్రస్ట్ని ఏ విధంగా స్టార్ట్ చేశారు, అదేవిధంగా మీ స్పందన కూడా తెలియజేస్తారా?
Thanks, Shyam. Dr. 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗧𝗛𝗥𝗔, Mrs. 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔 and Vishal, and co-trustees Bala, Murthy, Srini, and Banu. It's great to hear from both 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗧𝗛𝗥𝗔 and 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔. Looks to me like you have worked very hard to be where you are today to attain the success. Dr. 𝗡𝗧𝗏 himself, as well as 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗏 and J.C. 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔. And your success you have diverted for the welfare of the people. That's what's important. You have to succeed, make some wealth, channel it for some good cause. That's what we have done. Now, also thanks for participating in this donor appreciation Zoom meet. Let me give a brief introduction of SANKARA NETHRALAYA, because I've been here in this for the past 35 years in US. And India, they started in 1978, which is 10 years longer than that, more than 40 years. Dr. 𝗏𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗏 is the founder of this organization. He had his education in Boston. After finishing his specialty in retina, detached retina areas, he chose to go back to India and serve the mother country. There he happened to hear a lecture from 𝗋𝐈𝐵𝐄 Swamiji. He said, whatever you do with this sense of missionary spirit, serving the poor people. That impressed him. Then he thought of starting something to treat poor people. And in 1978, started a very small place, about 7 or 8 beds, an eye hospital. The objective was to provide free service to the poor and at affordable price for others. And he has been very successful in that. And he wanted to give the highest quality service. Even today, they provide world-class service, ophthalmic service. They may not be the largest ophthalmic institution in India, but they do provide the world-class service. As Dr. Modi mentioned, people don't have to go back to US or UK or anywhere for highest ophthalmic service. They get right there in Chennai. Our first president was Mr. C.V. Narasimhan. He was the Under Secretary of United Nations. And since then, of course, a number of trustees have joined, and probably I'm the only one still remaining from the original board here. We had a number of fundraising events, some concerts, walkathon, and various other events. And we used to collect few hundreds of thousands. Now we collect more than $1 million. Recent year, we collected $1.3 million, which is sufficient to perform 20,000 cataract surgeries. And today, SANKARA NETHRALAYA, they have locations in Tamil Nadu, in Kolkata, in Andhra Pradesh, and they treat 3,000 outpatients and perform 300 surgeries, almost half of them free on poor patients. Only income is a limitation, no caste, no creed, nothing. If the income is below a certain amount, they provide free service. In fact, they bring them from the villages and put them off, feed them, provide service, they take care of them. They also have eye bank, they have ophthalmic camps. One of the unique services is the mobile surgical unit. This is provided only, this approval is given only to SANKARA NETHRALAYA to provide this service in India. No other entity has this facility or approval because it should be in the most hygienic conditions. Mobile surgical unit is operation theater on wheels. There are two buses. One serves as preparation theater, other rather preparation unit, other one as operation theater. They go out to villages and they prospect all the patients. But before the unit goes, they prospect all the patients. Then they're called in and the unit goes there. They check them, test them, and provide the surgeries. After 2 weeks of providing glasses, they come back to the main campus. If there is any complication, they send them, get them to the main campus and treat them. In a camp, they treat about 150 to 200 patients. This is one of the unique service only provided by SANKARA NETHRALAYA. One thing I noticed in the past 35 years is that when you initially talk to some people, they're slow in responding because they want to make sure their money is well spent. But the point is, there are so many nonprofit organizations claiming to be nonprofit providing service, but they don't. Some have 50% overhead. So they're slow to think about it. They make some research. Once they're convinced, they give, they become lifetime donors. Because I'm in this for 35 years since I started, they become lifetime donors. And they're genuinely impressed. They know the money is well spent. Our overhead rate is very low. I mean, certain things we do, whatever we spend is for concerts or some registration, audit fee, these things we have got to do it. It is less than 3-4% in the whole year. So more than 95% money goes straight to the taking care of the poor patients. And one thing I would like to say is that in 2019, Bala Indurti, our current president, he took over as president of this organization and expanded the whole operation. There are about 15 chapters across the country, 35 trustees, and is also a lot of social media publicity and awareness. He has brought it to another level now. So I'm very, very happy, and thanks, Bala, for leading the organization and do the best you can for serving the poor people.
Thank you.
And one other thing I would like to mention is that thanks to Mrs. 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔, Vishal, 𝐒aturda𝐲 for all their generous support. Money will be well spent, and I hope you will continue to support to us, and also your support will motivate others to donate and enhance our activity and providing service to the poor people. Lastly, may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
ధన్యవాదాలండి ఆచార్య గారు. శంకర నేత్రాలయ సేవల గురించి మరికొంతమంది బ్రాండ్ అంబాసిడర్స్ అయిన గంగూలీ గారి మాటల్లో ప్రముఖ సినీ నటులు మాధవన్ గారు ఏమన్నారో స్వయంగా వారి మాటల్లోనే విందాం.
Ladies and gentlemen, who I am privileged to be addressing now, to you I say and humbly, the task ahead for SANKARA NETHRALAYA in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Kolkata is truly monumental. Yet another Nethralaya Center of Excellence, dedicated ultimately, as always, to the underprivileged. The moment for you is now to reach out, to share, to give, so that somewhere on some fallen eye, you may hope that a tear well, not a tear of despair, but that of relief and joy. Do remember, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give.
This is a sari.
Okay, but what color is it?
Color? Color? Perception is far from reality. Give them vision. Contribute generously.
మూర్తి రేఖపల్లి గారు శంకర నేత్రాలయ చేపడుతున్నటువంటి వివిధ కార్యక్రమాల గురించి, తర్వాత ఈ విరాళంపై మీ స్పందన తెలియజేస్తారండి.
తప్పకుండా సార్. డాక్టర్ గోవింద్ విశ్వేశ్వరరావు గారు, 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔 గారు అండ్ విశాల్, మీ డొనేషన్స్తో వేల మందికి కంటి చూపు వస్తుందండి.
చాలా వి అప్రిషియేటెడ్. నేను గత 10 సంవత్సరాలుగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయకి వాలంటీర్గా పనిచేస్తున్నాను. కరెంట్లీ వైస్ ప్రెసిడెంట్గా సర్వ్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఆచార్యజీ లాస్ట్ 35 ఇయర్స్గా ఈ ఆర్గనైజేషన్కి, ఈ కాజ్కి సర్వ్ చేస్తున్నారు. రీసెంట్గా బాలారెడ్డి ఇందుర్తి గారు ప్రెసిడెంట్ అయ్యారు. చాలా ఎనర్జీ తీసుకొచ్చారు ఈ ఆర్గనైజేషన్కి. యుఎస్లో అబౌట్ 15 సిటీస్లో చాప్టర్స్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాము. వెరీ బిగ్ కార్పొరేషన్స్ లైక్ మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ దగ్గర నుంచి చాలా మటుకు శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ అది చేసే పనుల గురించి మేము చెప్తున్నామండి. మా మా డ్రీమ్ ఏంటంటే మా లైఫ్ టైంలో ఇండియాలో ప్రివెంటబుల్ బ్లైండ్నెస్ని ఎరాడికేట్ చేయాలని. ఒక్క జస్ట్ $65తో ఒక క్యాటరాక్ట్ ఆపరేషన్ చేయగలమండి. సో ఆ మాత్రం డబ్బులు లేని వాళ్ళు చూడలేక బాధపడుతుంటే దట్స్ హౌ వి ఆల్ బికేమ్ వాలంటీర్స్. సో ఇప్పటి వరకు కొన్ని వేల మందికి చేయగలిగాము. మీలాంటి దాతల మూలంగా కొన్ని లక్షల మందికి చూపిస్తుంది. ఇన్ స్వామి వివేకానంద's words, they alone live who live for others. You are living as Swami Vivekananda said. చాలా థ్యాంక్స్ అండి. శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ యుఎస్ఏ ట్రస్ట్ తరపు నుంచి, శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఇండియా టీం నుంచి అందరికీ, 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔 గారు, విశాల్ గారు, డాక్టర్ గోవింద్ విశ్వేశ్వర, థ్యాంక్స్ అండి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ధన్యవాదాలండి మూర్తి గారు. భాను రామకృష్ణన్ గారు, మీ స్పందన కూడా మాకు తెలియజేస్తారా?
Thank you so much for inviting me here to speak to all of you. And thank you, Balagaru, Acharya ji, Murthy ji, and Shyam, and all the board members, as well as Madhu ji, Vishal, and Vishweshwara ji. Thank you so much for donating the money. This is a dream in true sense, for donating this kind of money and helping so many people. This is going to be helping a lot of people. And not only that, listening to both the families, I am learning a lot about Shankara Nethralaya itself. History of Shankara Nethralaya, I am learning a lot from listening to Madhuji as well as Vishweshwara ji too. So it is really wonderful. Thank you so much for donating the money. And thank you very much for opening your heart and helping. This is going to help a lot of people. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
ధన్యవాదాలండి. డాక్టర్ రాజమౌళి గారు, సీనియర్ సభ్యులుగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ కార్యక్రమాల గురించి, అదేవిధంగా ఈనాటి కార్యక్రమంపై మీ స్పందన కూడా తెలియజేస్తారా?
Thank you very much, Madhuji and Vishal. It was really great that you have done such a great job. And I salute Balaji and Acharyaji and all other trustees that we were able to say the right things, meaning that every penny will be used for proper purpose. Yes. I am ophthalmologist by profession. I was educated in India and came here. I was educated in ophthalmology back home, and I did my residency here. When I was I went to India, and my mother had some retinal problem, back of the eye problem. And I thought I will bring her here. So I spoke to my professor, my head of the department, who was a retina specialist. I said, I want to bring my mother here for this problem. He said, why do you want to bring her here? Take it to Badri. I said, who is Badri? He said, oh, he was my teacher. He's in Madras. So he gave me his number. And I called my brother in India, and she says, why don't you take it to him? And it was just the beginning, not too many years. I think it was 81 or 82. This has happened. 82 it happened. And he took my mother there, and she was treated by him, and we were very happy. Since then, I have been associated with Shankar Nethralaya. Of course, after that, Acharya ji has been very kind to keep me in fold, and that's how I am associated. Madhuji even though Balaji and other people have convinced you, I have been there. I know what ophthalmology is. Shankar Nethralaya is one of the best organization in India, in the sense they produce not only the charitable work, they also produce research papers and they educate the highest number of ophthalmologists and other ancillary fields in ophthalmology in India.
Yes.
They are the top in every single thing. Now other hospitals are coming, but still Shankar Nethralaya is the best. I can tell you certainty that you have done very right to this. You have made a very right decision, and every penny, as Balaji has said, will be useful.
ధన్యవాదాలండి. నమస్కారం అండి. శ్రీని వంగమల గారు, బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రస్టీగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ గురించి డోనర్ అప్రిషియేషన్ కార్యక్రమం సందర్భంగా మీ అభిప్రాయం తెలియజేస్తారా?
Thank you, Shyam Garu. Thank you, Acharyaji. Thank you, Bala, for making me part of this program. And I can't express enough gratitude for Dr. Vishweshwaraji and Madhuji and Vishal for making such a huge donation to help towards the, helping the poor patients back home. I'm really surprised. I'm actually very impressed to know that Vishweshwaraji is a Fulbright scholar. He came here for studies with Fulbright scholarship. That's a very huge accomplishment. I don't think I ever met any Fulbright scholar in person. So I'm actually elated to know that. And working here and such an accomplished. Moreover, I think what even more impressed me is in both cases, this is self-made money, not inherited money. And in both cases, both of them made donations in memory of their parents. That's even more impressive, very thoughtful, and I think you are setting a great example for other donors and all the younger generation people that that want to contribute. And definitely, I would assure, being a trustee and just like Acharyaji and Bala has explained, Shankar Nethralaya has been there for more than 4 decades in helping poor people. And with help, donors like yours, it will continue forever. And more importantly, Shankar Nethralaya is not just a hospital, it's a research institute that basically helps develop new techniques, help better treatments. And one thing that actually impressed me even more is MESU, mobilized surgical units, which is basically a hospital on wheels going to the remote villages and helping indigenous patients who don't have an awareness or means and methods to go to hospital, or they may not even aware they have a curable disease. So going to their doorsteps and helping them, it helps a lot. Actually, in fact, I had sponsored MESU camps in our own village, and it was hugely successful. And then again, this December, we're having one more camp in our village. That actually I would like to see expand all over India, where that helps. Like they said, we can see the eradicate preventable blindness in our generation. The one way to do it is have more MESUs and more Shankar Nethalayas everywhere in India. Definitely, thank you for educating everybody about this process, and hope to see more of these programs. Thank you everyone.
కార్యక్రమంలో చివరిగా డాక్టర్ గోవింద్ విశ్వేశ్వర గారు ఒక దాతగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయాన్ని ఎన్నిక చేసుకోవడంలో చేటు చేసుకున్నటువంటి పరిణామాలు, ఆ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ గురించి కొంచెం మా ప్రేక్షకులకి వివరిస్తారండి?
No, it's a question, since I'm a scientist, I'm a researcher, and when I was working at the Centers for Disease Control, I worked on this 𝗓𝗘𝗧𝗥𝗔𝗚. It's a small amoeba that goes into the eye and completely eats away the cornea and makes people blind. And when I was working on that thing, there were a number of cases in India also. And many people from Madras, Chennai, used to go to Sankara Nethralaya for treatment and other thing. So I had contact with some of the people there about how to treat this particular infection, 𝗓𝗘𝗡𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And when I heard about that Sankara Nethralaya, they were doing all this very good job, great job. So when I had some money, I thought this is probably the best thing to give it to Sankara Nethralaya. And I read about Sankara Nethralaya on the web, and it had got such glorious affidavits from all kinds of people about Sankara Nethralaya and what a good deed they are doing to indigent people who do not have any money at all. And they used to give them all free treatment and free operations and free consultations and things like that. So I thought that that's probably the best thing that I should do, to give whatever money I have. And I think Sankara Nethralaya has done a great job and is going to do many great things to do in life. So I really appreciate all of you people who are volunteers for Sankara Nethralaya to do all these things on behalf of Sankara Nethralaya. Thank you all very, very, very much.
Yes.
మరో ప్రశ్న డాక్టర్ గోవింద విశ్వేశ్వర గారు, ప్రఖ్యాత శాస్త్రవేత్తగా మీరు ఇంతవరకు ఎన్ని ఆర్టికల్స్ పబ్లిష్ చేశారో కొంచెం ఆ విషయాలు క్లుప్తంగా మాకు తెలియజేస్తారా?
Probably about 400 papers.
But he's like Sachin Tendulkar, hundreds.
Well, no,
or Broadway, maybe Tendulkar is not Broadway.
I worked for 40 years. So
No.
40 years, I was doing nothing but pure research. So whatever, did all work on that thing. So I'm happy that I was able to do that.
మధుజీ, ఒక ఫిలాంథ్రపిస్ట్గా మీరు మారడానికి మీ బాల్యంలో చోటు చేసుకున్న బలమైన సంఘటనలు, మనస్సుకు హత్తుకుపోయే విషయాలు ఏమైనా ఉంటే మాతో పాల్పంచుకుంటారా?
My school, St. Thomas School, was close to my house, about 10-15 minutes walk.
Right.
So I would walk to my school from grade 1 till grade 11.
Wow.
Go and come back. And I lived in Connaught Place, CP of Delhi. Connaught Place, if anybody knows Delhi, Connaught Place everybody knows.
Of course.
And this was Panchkuya Road in the middle of A and B block, which went towards my school.
Right.
On the going towards that my school, on the left side is 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗔𝗥𝗔, blind school, school for the blind. Since the age of 5, I walked past the school. I would see kids of all ages, either standing outside with a stick in their hand or holding each other's hand and trying to walk, and with a stick doing like this to find, whether there's a ditch or something, because in India, the streets are not that well done. And I would see them. I used to feel, I can see, I can know where the ditch is. I can skip over it. But they cannot. They are looking for it. They are trying to, with a stick, they are moving left to right, and then little kids behind, blind children are behind them holding each other's hands. I saw it for 11 years, going and coming. I walked to my school. And whatever little pocket money I had, in those days, 25 paisa, rupeya, to 1 rupee was very seldom, but 25 paisa, they used to have a little donation box outside the school. I would just throw in there my pocket money that I used to get from my parents. I would put some money over there. And In 2018, and after coming here, every time I go to India, I went to India, I made sure I took a suitcase of clothes with me and went to that Andh Vidyalaya, Andh blind school. That's Andh Vidyalaya. To give that suitcase of clothes and on a cash donation every time for last 50 years for living in America. And in 2018, I took Vishal. I said, Vishal, I want to show you that school. We took a suitcase, 2 suitcases of clothes. He went inside, saw the kids. They made him, take a round of the school. And he watched them. He saw them, how they were operating. They were laughing. They were talking. They could not see, but their faces were moving left to right. It was such a moving, it touched the heart of any person. And it touched his heart too.
ధన్యవాదాలండి మధుజీ. అదండి ఈనాటి మా డోనర్ అప్రిసియేషన్ కార్యక్రమం ఇంకా ముగిస్తున్నాం. ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి విచ్చేసిన ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి పేరు పేరున ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తూ బాలాగారు మీ ముగింపు వాక్యాలతో ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని ముగిద్దామా?
Thank you very much, Dr. Govinda Vishweshwara. And మీరు మాకు ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు. అండ్ పాండమిక్ లో you did lot of support. And even recently మళ్ళీ you donated again. So తర్వాత Sankara Nethralaya found another great donor like Srimati 𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗤𝗥𝗔 and also young dynamic Vishal Gulati. Both have a lot of generosity and the kindness, because that is more important. It's not like how much you have. It matters about how much you care to donate for the needy people. That I see from both Govindaji and Madhuji. So మీలాంటి వాళ్ళ సేవలు ఆచంద్రార్కం. అంటే జనరల్గా సూర్యచంద్రులు ఉన్నంత వరకు జనాలు మిమ్మల్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటారు. ఎందుకంటే ఒక్కరికి కంటి చూపు వస్తే 10 మందికి చెప్పుకుంటాము, నా వల్ల somebody got eye vision అని. But because of you, thousands are going to get the vision. So we are really great. And also I want to share one small achievement for Sankara Nethralaya in our recent fundraiser musical concert in New York City. Like in the New York temple, me and our vice president Murthy garu, మేమిద్దరం న్యూయార్క్ వెళ్ళడం జరిగింది. అక్కడ మా ట్రస్టీ రాజమోది గారు మొత్తం వర్క్ చేసి శంకర నేత్రాలయకి ప్రోక్లమేషన్ తీసుకొచ్చారన్నమాట. సో నేను ఇప్పుడు ఇది మీ అందరికీ షేర్ చేస్తున్నాను. I want to show. I hope.
Proclamation. Okay, good.
So every June 19th, New York City.
Yeah, that is from New York Mayor. So
Mayor, that's great. Proclamation. That's wonderful. Yeah.
We both were in that occasion, and credit for this effort goes to our senior Dr. Rajmodi, and also all the other people who are part of it. And very great day today, because Sankara Nethralaya, this kind of things we always cherish. And we will go discuss this about in our upcoming Board of Trustees meeting. Marokasari, the Dr. Govinda Vishweshwara,